Hello everyone, in this video I'll be talking about the types of nut. So let's start the video. Before that, what is a nut? We should know. So nut is nothing but it is a type of mechanical fastener that is always used in pair with the bolt, which you can see in the image. So this nut has a hole which is a threaded hole. So nuts are used in pair with the mating bolt to hold two parts together. So here temporary fastening is there in between bolt and nut. So how this nut is specified? Suppose if there is like M8 into 1.25 is there. That means M8 is nothing but the nominal dia of this nut. This dia is nothing but the outside dia of the thread, and 1.25 is nothing but the pitch of the thread. So we'll discuss about the types of nut. That is, first one is the hexagonal nut. So hexagonal nut is most common form of nut which you can see in the image. So this is most widely used nut in many applications. They are used in structural, also machine tool construction applications. So this hexagonal nut is hexagonal in shape. That's why it is called as hexagonal nut. And this hexagonal nut is used in pair with the hexagonal bolt. So as you can see, the 6 faces of this hexagonal nut. Here the top corner of this nut are chamfered. So this chamfering is conical in shape. The angle of chamfer is generally in between 30 to 45 degree for this hexagonal nut. So for this hexagonal nut, as they are hexagonal in shape, they require very less clearance to tight or loose, because the spanner has to rotate in 60-degree angle to tight or loose this hexagonal nut. So very less clearance is required in this case. Next bolt nut is the square nut. So square nut is used in pair with the square bolt, which you can see in the image. The shape of the nut is square, so that is why it is called as square nut. So the spanner used for the nut can have a better hold on square nut than on a hexagonal nut. So if you use the spanner, so it will have a better grip or hold onto this nut as compared to the hexagonal nut, but it have more clearance. So that's why the spanner has to be turned through 90 degree in this case of square nut. So it requires more clearance. Next type of nut is the cap nut. So you can see in the image cap nut. So cap nut is nothing but it is a hexagonal nut. So it is a type of hexagonal nut. So this one is the hexagonal nut, and with a cylindrical cap at top end. You can see there is a cylindrical cap at the top end from the corrosion. So to resist the corrosion, this top end is provided. Also to prevent the leakage through the thread, this top end is provided. So in application where the bolt thread is to be protected, in that case this cap nut can be used to protect that bolt thread. So the bolt thread will be underneath of this cap nut. Next is the Capstan nut. So you can see an image of Capstan nut. So they are generally cylindrical in shape, and it also have a hole drilled onto top of it in the curved surface for turning it with a Tommy bar. So to turn this capstan nut, generally Tommy bar is used. So we can see the application of Tommy bar, where this Tommy bar is used. So in lathe machine, to tight or loose the chuck, this Tommy bar is used. Okay, so the application of this capstan nut we can see to fix the workpieces on table. This capstan nut is used along with the T-headed bolt. Next is the dome nut bolt. So in the image, it is a form of cap nut that have a cylindrical dome shape at the top. That is why it is called as dome nut. So it is used as a cover. This dome is used as a cover for threaded rod, or it can be used as a cap in a machine screw. So in application where thread to be protected, in that case dome nut can be helpful. Next is the wing or thumb nut. So why it is called as a thumb nut? Because this nut can be easily operated by thumb. So by simply using the thumb, we can operate this wing nut by thumb, or a finger can be used, and it is used where it is required to be adjusted frequently. So something required to be adjusted frequently, their wing or thumb nut can be used. You can see one application here, that is a hacksaw bed. Hacksaw you can see. So in this hacksaw, this one is nothing but the wing or thumb nut that is using hacksaw. Next is the ring nut. A ring nut, you can see an image. So it is a form of a ring which is generally provided with the slots in curved surface. So slots are provided. So special C-spanner is used for this ring nut. A ring nut is used optimally adjust the smoothness of balls in a bearing. So the application of ring nut we see in the bearing. Next is the flange nut. So flange nut is nothing but it is a, you can see it is a hexagonal nut that has a wide flange at below. You can see there is a wide flange. So this wide flange will distribute the pressure coming on it uniformly. So it will act as a washer. This wide flange will act as a washer. So this is a type of, you can say, a hexagonal nut. Next is the chuck nut. So this nut is used along with one ordinary nut. Thin nut are used as a lock nut. So this chuck nut is also called as lock nut. So lock nut is nothing but it is a hexagonal nut which is generally thin, means thin in shape. So they are used for locking purposes. So this is the chuck nut. So this is all about the types of nut. Hope you like this video. Thank you for watching.